Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Rush Roundtable. Today we have a fun one and a controversial one. That's why we've brought three Contrarians panelists, our first ever crossover on Rush Roundtable with the Contrarians. So let's briefly introduce the panel. On the top left, we have Grant Arthur from the Contrarians and also from Grant's Rock Warehouse. We have Todd Evans from the Contrarians and, of course, also of Rushfans. Got Jonathan in the top right corner from the Contrarians. And got Paul in the bottom left-hand corner from Rushfans, myself, and then David in the bottom right-hand corner, both from Rushfans as well. So, controversial topic. Before I tell you what the topic is, all Rush is good Rush. Keep that in mind, please, throughout the entirety of this episode. We're doing this for fun. We are building a bad Rush album. We've got permission to steal this idea from the Contrarians, from their bad album series. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be building a least best hits record of Rush. So we're basically going to try to come up with what we think are the 18 least best Rush songs. Each panelist is going to pick three. We're going to go around the round table three times. We're going to start in the top left with Grant. Go ahead.
All right. First of all, thanks for having me. It's fun to be here. I'm going to keep it concise, and this might be a bit controversial. I originally was going to pick the A side of this single, but since we're not going to look at any cover versions or anything, I'm going with the B side from 1973, You Can't Fight It, which was the flip side of Not Fade Away. So it's kind of Led Zeppelin-y, it's kind of peppy. It's not very Rush-like, and I just think it's not really a terrible song, but it's just not up there. And I figure all Rush is good Rush, but even early Rush is, well, it can be kind of questionable. So I'm going to go with the flip side. You Can't Fight It.
Okay. Now, we are throwing a curveball into this. All the panelists have the opportunity to object by throwing their hand up. If you object to what your other panelists have said, if all five hands go up, we'll force that person to pick a new song. So everybody okay with the first pick? Of course, this was never actually on an album, but this was 100% Rush, right?
It's 100% Rush,
yeah.
1973.
Everyone good with it? Does anybody object by throwing their hands up? All right. On to the next one. Todd, you're up.
Okay, so I'm going to pick from Roll the Bones, one of the lesser songs from Roll the Bones. I'm picking Neurotica. I don't think that song really goes anywhere. The lyrics kind of annoy me a little bit. It kind of reminds me of Veronica from Elvis Costello, which is an awesome song. I always think Neurotica, Exotica, Veronica. So there's always something about it that just has always just rubbed me the wrong way. So I'm choosing Neurotica.
Okay. Everybody good with it? Hands up if you disagree. And I will add, we're trying to be as objective as possible. We're trying to do this based on research, based on what we've seen on Facebook and Twitter and Reddit and Instagram and all the other places. So we're trying to build a consensus, least best album here. All right, Jonathan, you're up.
All right. Well, I went with a controversial Rush album. Some like it, some don't. Hold Your Fire. And this song is considered Alex's worst song that they ever written, and that's Tai Shan. And I kind of agree. I don't care for the song too much, and I mean, there's less guitars in that album, but that song has like hardly anything, and it does nothing for me.
All right. I love the tune myself, but I will not throw a hand up because it has to be on this, right? So everyone good?
In here.
Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Paul, what you got?
I'm going to go with something I don't think will be terribly surprising is I think I'm going bald. Sort of my first not nice try, guys pick. It was kind of their first foray into funk. Didn't really work. Most of my picks were based on the idea that these songs were undercooked but ambitious. This one needed a lot more time. So that's my short version.
Hands up. Anyone object for I think I'm going bald? All right. For me, I'm this is kind of a cop out. I'm going to take the easy way out and get it out of the way here. BU2B2, Clockwork Angels. Obviously this had to be there as part of the story. But in my opinion, it probably should have been like an intro to something or an outro to something, as opposed to being its own song. And because it's its own song, a lot of people skip it, think it's pointless. Hence, I'm throwing it on this list. Hands? Anybody?
About the same thing. It should have been part of Wish You Well.
Mhm.
Wish
Them
them
well. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yep. Cool. All right. David, what you got?
My contribution in this alternate universe where nothing I say can be taken as the truth. It's a very difficult episode for me. But I'm going to say a Hand Over Fist. You know,
Okay.
a lot of repetition. Just keeps repeating the same lines, and that's mine.
All right.
Painful agreement.
Does anybody object? I'm going to object on this one. All right.
I
Well,
like the song, but I'm not going to object.
I love the song, but objectively speaking, yeah.
I'd object, but it was my pick, so I can't.
You can't.
Well,
You can't.
Let me put it this way. I actually don't like this song that much, but I think there's 13 other
Well.
least best songs than this. That's why I'm objecting. So,
Yeah.
this would be fringe for me, so. All right. We are through round one, if you will. Hopefully this will get a little bit harder now to pick because we've got some of the easy ones out of the way. So, Grant, round two.
Well, I'm going to throw one out. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what the panel thinks. I'm going to go with something off of Presto. No one's mentioned Presto yet. I'm going to go with Superconductor. Now, the reason behind this, for me, or for a lot of people, it's not very memorable, for one. I can hardly remember the damn thing. There are no hooks to this song, and it's got that spoken, the spoken word part, or is that like a gang vocal, mini gang chant, or whatever you want to call it, where they go Superconductor. It just drives me nuts. I just don't think it's good. I don't know. But, Presto's kind of hit and miss. I like a lot of Presto, but this one I do not like. So I'm throwing it out, seeing what people think.
I object. I love that song.
I love
it
that
too, but I can't
song
object.
too, but I'm not going to object because I hear lots of people say that they don't.
Yeah.
So
It's not high up on the,
Yeah.
there are other songs that are probably way worse. Don't get me wrong, but
We'll get there.
I thought I'd throw one out and see how it stuck.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a personal favorite of mine either, but
No.
again, I think there are people that absolutely hate this song and despise
Mhm.
this song, and then there's people who absolutely love this song. So
Yeah, there's
to
some
me,
great
that averages out, right?
there's great stuff on Presto. I just don't think this is one of them.
All right. Todd.
okay. So I am going to test the whole objection thing. And I am going to say, I know that we're not talking about songs that we don't like, but the reason I'm choosing this song is because I don't think it's a very good kickoff to this album. And I think the album is much better than the song. And I'm talking about Vapor Trail's One Little Victory. I don't like the way Geddy sings that song.
I don't know. Todd, I'm right with
put
you.
it out there.
I'm right with you.
I think that Vapor Trails is a much better album than that song kicks it off to be.
So how did that break things up?
Well, we
Three
said
against-
we said
There were a
all
lot
five
of
had to
objections.
disagree. Yeah.
All
but-
of
There
them.
were
Okay.
4 objections.
Oh,
Well, so here's why I object to this. This is my least favorite song from this record by a wide margin. I don't like it. I take that back. I like all Rush. I don't like it as much as the rest of everything else on that album, right?
I like it too.
So, but
I know.
this song connects to so many people because of the comeback, because of the hard-hitting drums. This is Neil's, reintroduction. I mean, I would assume Geddy and Alex just let Neil just go freaking crazy in this song. I can't fathom this being in the 18th least best Rush songs because of that reason. I might have
I'll
it in
give you
my
that.
bottom 18, but
That's a really good point.
so that's why I threw my hand up. So,
Okay, am I picking another one?
well, if we can convince Grant to throw his hand up, I think.
Oh, it has to be all 5. Okay.
Well,
Well, that's
okay.
what we.
I'll
That's
go
what we
with it. What
said.
the
That's
hell?
what we
Let's
said.
hear
So.
something else from Todd. Go
Power
ahead.
of
I'll
the
put my hand
people.
up. Power. We got to
Should we go majority?
We
Should
want
we go
more
4 to
Todd.
5? I don't know. What do we want to?
Yeah,
Unanimous. It's got to be unanimous.
Yeah.
yeah, that's fine.
Well,
There
thank
were
you,
enough
man.
objections as far as I'm concerned. I knew that
Okay.
was going to be controversial.
We can try to
Okay.
convince the people that don't throw their hands up if that's
Well,
the
I
case.
thought
like we did.
Superconductor would get nicked, but that's okay.
I almost did.
I'm
You got to be
subjective about
honest,
it.
though.
All right, so you want me to give the people what they want? And I don't think this is a very bad song either, but it's lyrically, I think it is, and a lot of people don't like it. Dog ears.
I think I know what's coming. There it is.
I know it. I got to go back to my list for my pick. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody object on this one? Yeah. No, I think this one has to be on there. Yeah. Great song musically, corny lyrics. A lot of people dislike it, right? So because of that. All right, Jonathan.
All right, well, I'm going to stick with Test for Echo on this next one, and I'm picking an instrumental. I'm picking Limbo. I think it's the weakest instrumental out of their whole catalog. When you're looking at YYZ, Leave That Thing Alone, Where's My Thing? Like, when I listen to Limbo, I don't get that same reaction that I do with the other instrumentals that they do. That's why I picked it. I just don't think it's that great compared to the other ones.
Okay, I will object. I agree with your statement, but I don't believe it's in the 18 worst Rush songs. So I object. Is everyone else? Limbo. What does everyone else think? Should Limbo be on this list?
No, I don't object. Grant, was that a Grant's Rock Warehouse episode where we ranked the Rush instrumentals?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and Limbo was pretty low on that.
It was. That was
And that's the
early
reason-
too,
Well,
Todd.
sure, yeah.
That's
That
the
was
reason that
early.
I'm not going to object.
I don't think
But I
I
like
would
it.
object.
All
I
right.
think there are worse instrumentals than that, but
By Rush or in general.
by Rush. It depends
Okay.
on how you look at it because, okay, do you, like Jonathan, you think this is just filler? Is that the way you look at it?
I don't think it's filler. I just think no, filler would be something that's like 2 minutes long or something like that. It's a 5-minute song. It's just it just repeats itself, and then Getty does this screaming in the background. I just don't find it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's probably my least favorite.
It's my least.
instrumental.
Well,
As somebody who
depends
likes
on how
all
you
the
look at
instrumentals
it.
a lot, if I had to choose.
I mean,
I
you look at like Main Monkey Business, a song
Mhm.
like that we just talked about on Snakes and Arrows. That song has
Mhm.
everything. That
yeah,
song is
that's good.
killer
Agreed.
all the way through. YYZ, you have everybody doing something. Leave That Thing Alone on Counterparts.
Mhm.
This, I just think they threw it together real quick and just put it on the album. That's just my opinion.
It almost is kind of experimental, kind of. Just I totally agree with that.
Okay. I completely disagree, but that's fine. That's why we're here.
That's what makes the world go
yeah.
round.
I'd put it in the middle third, but I'm
I'm
not.
disagreeing because I think a lot of the audience would disagree, right? I'm trying to.
Right.
Okay, Paul. Number 10.
My second one needs some love. Everybody has to start somewhere. I get that, but this sounds like everybody. It's not just that it doesn't sound like Rush to me. It sounds like a lot of the things that were out there at the time. It sounds like a lot of things. Everybody needs to start. No hate, just it's easily in the bottom third for me because they were starting out. It's a stepping stone song,
Mhm.
and it had to be written. Plus, it got the least. I did gauge this slightly scientifically on one of the sites that's got the lyrics on screen. It had 25,000 listens as opposed to Working Man, which had 1.2 million. It is far at the bottom as far as listens and views and streams go. Not that that's completely objective and scientific, but point is, it's the least on the album, in my opinion.
Uh-oh. We lost
Uh-oh.
Todd.
Oh God.
He didn't like your analysis on
Oh,
hates and
yeah.
loves.
Oh
so
God,
he-
don't piss
so
Todd
he-
off.
He just left.
He knocked out his
bounced.
Wi-Fi and he raised his hand.
Yeah. I do believe Todd is at a hotel, so we'll see if he hops back in here. We'll keep it going. The show must go on, right?
Yes.
So all right. So my number 2, I'm gonna say Rivendell. Because I think a lot of Rush fans will knock the song due to its, its peacefulness, its lack of drums, it's boring. Again, this is, yeah, I don't love it, but I like it. But again, trying to speak on behalf of the fan base, generalized here, I think a lot of folks would have this in their bottom 18. I will give you a hint as to why I like it, and I think if you play it at 1.5 speed, it actually sounds really freaking awesome. So if you play it a little bit faster, it sounds really good. So it's almost a song that I could see like some, up and coming metal band or something cover this with these lyrics and just play it faster, and then it could turn it into a a huge hit. But yeah, I just think Rivendell is one that falls flat for most of the fan base and just has to be on this list. So.
Yeah, I don't object to that. I mean, me personally, I like this song, but I've heard a lot of negative. They say that's one of the worst Rush albums. So I agree with you with that.
Yeah. Yep. All right, cool. David.
I am, for my next one, selecting Freeze, because why does Fear need a part 4?
Freeze, huh? I have to object to that.
yeah.
I gotta throw a hand up to that one.
I'm objecting.
Yeah, Freeze from Vapor Trails. Paul, Jonathan, guys, all right with it?
Okay.
You need to have that part 4.
I'm all right with it. It's not. I don't hear a lot about it. Not the popularity thing, but
That's
when
true.
people go, oh, and then there's this, and oh, and then there's that, or hey, I bet you haven't heard this in a while. I've heard one person bring up Freeze in the 8 months or so I've been associated with the channel. One person. Not saying that's
well,
makes it bad. It's
But-
not bad.
blood
I'll
you
rush
with
this.
the Freeze conversations here, Paul.
You think it's just kind of goes under the radar there, Paul?
Possibly. So
Yeah, a lot of songs on Vapor Trails, and that's near the very bottom. That's near the end.
Okay,
Well,
is this Todd?
I personally love the song, but
it's hard to
Oh.
pick anything that's
3 to 4
bad.
is-
yeah, like I said, this is all our alternate universe for me.
Right.
Yeah.
I take all the tracks that I've thrown out. It's not like I don't want them. It's hard to. This was a hard exercise.
Todd has been booted due to a power outage at his hotel. So when it's his turn, I'm going to try to get his pick via text here. So,
All right.
Cool.
Grant,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
third time through is probably going to get a little bit even tougher here. So, third time
Well,
through. Grant.
I'm trying to look at my list and then
Oh.
let me see. Oh, there he is. Okay, kids, here we go. Okay. This is one of those other tracks. I think people might agree with this. Maybe they won't. Hope it's not too controversial, but I think off of Counterparts, 1993, I'm going to go with Double Agent. I don't think it's very good. See? Okay.
No.
I don't
no,
like
hands
the
are going up for that
spoken
one.
word element in it. It just seems it's got some cool guitar riffs, but I don't like the call
this hurts.
response. And a lot of people, it's just one of those ones that, okay, say I told you.
I'm with
I
you.
just don't.
Well, who threw Jonathan's with him? All right. Well, there's your no. It can't be unanimous. All right, Double Agents on the list.
All right. Got to be controversial, Todd.
All right. I'm going to request that I get Todd's pick through text because I've already announced that. So,
Oh,
In fact,
Just-
let's not talk
just
to
kidding.
Todd and just have him just read his text.
yeah.
Apparently, you really need some love. Okay, go ahead.
What do you got, Todd? Third
I'm
time
going
through.
to say best I can, as long as no one else has said that yet. I think it's the worst song off. Well, worst, the least best song off of Fly By Night. Any objections to that?
Had it on my list.
Hmm,
So
Okay.
did I.
well,
Yeah, I mean it's
I'll let it go,
was this
but
a Neil one or was this from leftovers? I can't one of
That was a leftover.
this was a leftover, right? Making Memories was the one that was written with Neil, I believe. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Best I Can was leftover. Yeah.
In an old
I'll
circle
object,
magazine.
but it's like fringe for me, so I can't imagine anyone else is gonna.
I'll let it go. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to object off anything off Fly By Night. But
Yeah. Todd, you got Need Some Love. I think you saw that. Paul said Need Some Love. I said
Oh,
Ribbon.
okay.
I said Rivendell. David said
Okay.
Freeze, and
Okay.
then
I would
Brad
have
said
objected
Double
to
Agent.
Freeze, but that's okay.
I did
there you go.
myself. I
I
tried.
objected to Freeze.
I tried, but all right, Jonathan.
All right, I'm going to pick one that's a little bit popular. They played it live. It's a well-known song, but I just want to see what the panel thinks and what the audience thinks of this song. I never was inspired by this song at all. It comes off of Roll the Bones. It's the second song. It's Bravado.
Hmm,
Yeah,
sorry.
I had a feeling
I
that
have to be. Yeah.
yeah, no way.
No.
Try
Now,
again.
I will say, as those kinds of songs go, as far as my personal feelings, I don't think it's the best one of those kinds of Rush songs.
Agreed.
yeah. Okay.
But I still love those kinds of Rush songs. So
Yeah. I wanted to throw that out. I had it on here. I'm like, I'm going to see what the panel thinks. But all right. Well, I'm going to go back to Vapor Trails and I'm going to go with Nocturne. I think it's a heavy song, but I just think there's just nothing there for me. I just think it's just heavy and that's about it. That's just what I get out of it.
that's on my list.
That was on my list as well.
Mine.
So you could say the panel says the answer is yes. Okay, please clap.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. I had that on my list too. I love the song. It's actually one of my favorites from Vapor Trails for some weird reason. I don't know why, but I can see it. All right, we got three more, Paul.
All right, this one pains me, but I got to be honest with it. Going back to Roll the Bones, I think it's becoming the punching bag of this one. Face Up. While I love it a lot, and it's where the album started lyrically, I do believe it suffers from the thin problem on Roll the Bones. Very much so. Suffers probably worse than any song on the album for that. It's repetitive, and other songs do what it was trying to do better. But getting back to that point, if it wasn't the song that started the whole theme of the album, I don't think it would have much going for it. Again, I love it, but it is, in my opinion, lower tier.
Yeah. I had it on my list.
Face Up. I object.
Cool.
I guess I'm the only one who's going to object. Okay.
I like the song too, but I agree that it's not. It is selected as one. I always hear "Face Up" being one of the least liked Rush songs, and I mean, for me personally, I like it, but
Yeah, it's fine.
I love it, but just because I love it doesn't make it strong.
Yeah.
There's no bad Rush, kids. No bad Rush.
Exactly.
All right. There's a couple that I have on my list here that I could pick from, and I really, really don't want to do this. And this one freaking pains me because I love the song. And so does Donna Halper. But I've seen so much negativity on this song lately for whatever reason. I don't know why. I kind of get it from Counterparts, The Speed of Love. I hear that it's not rushy, like it's not, it's too like soft. It really pains me to say this. I was really hoping someone else would say this, but I know David's not going to say it. So objectively, I really think this has to be on the list. So again, pains me, love the song, but The Speed of Love.
I think it's the least Alexi song on the album, and I love it, but it's not a showcase.
There you go. Not a showcase.
All right. David, what you got for the last one?
My next one is was written. The lyrics were written by Alex Lifeson. It's called Lessons, and it really doesn't say a whole lot. Very simple lyrics on, an album like 2112. What was Alex thinking?
I love it, but I gotta agree. And it's got the least number of listens. I do check most of mine, and that is on there. It's got the least number of listens on the entire album. So I love it, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, being objective. Subjectively, love it. Great solo at the end.
So how would that, if let's say that was chosen, how would you view that album then now? Is that a perfect record? It wouldn't be a perfect album. Would it be a 5-star album?
4 point.
It's considered 5-star, right? Among Rush fans. How could it be? You
don't
can't
even
have
get me
anything.
going. Don't even get
I'm
me
just throwing it out
started.
there. Just want
Yeah.
your thoughts.
I think 21. Well, first of all, I object to this. I don't think Lessons. Sorry, David. I think I've objected to all three of yours.
I hate to, Ryan. I'm going to have to object too because
I object.
I just think there's other songs that are
worse.
Yeah, that
not worse.
That should fill
Least
this out.
best.
That are missing.
Least best.
Okay.
Virtuality, Carve Away the Stone, Bravest Face, maybe High Water. I think that's overlooked, but Take a Friend. I think there's like other songs that
Take a Friend
be on here other than that, especially You Have the Duty of Being Last. So that's all I'm going to say. I object. What's the panel think?
I'll object to one of those other ones you said on this list, to be honest.
I don't think how that could.
All right, well,
see how that could be listed.
Lessons is on there. I guess everyone's
Right.
Todd and Jonathan are going.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
So
I'm never being.
yeah, don't even get me started on 2112 and why I think that's overrated. I think I could do a whole roundtable on this and talk about this myself if I wanted to, but
That'd be a great topic.
I'll just
Talk
say
about hits.
I'll just say it in one sentence. I think it's top heavy because of the title track, and I think because of the title track and what it brought Rush, it's considered top tier up there with Moving Pictures. But I think song wise, and the 5 other songs that are on the B side, I think it doesn't hold up to what's on the top side. And maybe that was 2 sentences, but I think it's overrated, not by much. I mean, I think it's held in such high regard when it's really kind of like a, like 8th best Rush album or so. There's a run of 8 albums from 2112 to Power Windows that I think is the best 8 album span of any band ever. And I think 2112 falls in the 8th spot comparatively to all those other records.
I like
Power
Fly
Windows,
by
huh?
Night better than 2112.
I like Caress of Steel too.
But
if it didn't have,
That's for
I agree
another
with
time.
Jonathan. I like
I
Fly by
know.
Night better.
All right,
you like
So-
Fly by Night better?
Yeah.
let's do this because as I was just saying, I think there's a few that were missed. There's 18 that are on this list. We do have a couple more minutes here that I think we can sneak in 2 more for a nice round 20. Does anybody want to nominate a song rapid fire that thinks needs to be on this list because the fan base believes it's a lesser liked Rush track, one that perhaps got missed, and then we won't do unanimous. We'll do majority rules to the nomination. So 3 out of 5 of
I'm curious. See if this one does it.
your other fan.
Necromancer. Honestly,
I almost put it on
I
my
object.
long list, Paul, but decided against it.
I think it's
Because
too
it really
important.
kinda rocks
Too
towards the
important
end.
to
It's-
include that.
their first epic, but I hear a lot of complaints. But yeah, so,
It's important.
I'm going to throw this out there just because I think it has to be on here in Virtuality. I love it.
Yeah.
I listen to it all the time.
I love it.
My
Been a
list.
long time here.
But I'm going to say hands go up if you agree for now. Virtuality.
It's got a cool riff, but yeah, I agree.
It's all right. I get, yeah,
Okay,
sure.
well, okay,
We can add
majority, I
it.
guess.
It's fine. What about Red Tide from Presto?
I had that
Object.
on my list.
I have that on my list too.
Object.
I will agree.
It's on my
object
list.
too.
You object, Todd?
You object.
Thank you.
Okay.
Object strongly.
So what does David think?
Yeah, I object. I like that one.
Okay. So that all right. So
Fair
I guess room for one more.
I've got one more, but no one's going to go for it because I.
Well,
this
I
is-
want to hear it. let's
I
hear
got
it.
And now we need
the
to know.
opening track for Test for Echo. Test for Echo, and no one would
I
ever.
almost
agree.
put it on mine.
I
I love
think-
it. I almost
love
put
it.
it on there.
I think
it took
it's-
me years to like it, but I do like it.
It's almost
I
like
don't.
Driven
I
should have
think
been
the
the opening track.
lyrics. I know we got Pi Dubois on here doing
Yeah.
lyrics, helping Neil. I think it's, and it opens the record. Here we go, Vertigo, video, Vertigo, Test for Echo. Here we go in slow mo. It's just stupid. I'm sorry.
When Neil was playing with words.
I
Yeah,
know,
I
but
don't-
it
I
just
don't
sounds
object to
like we're
that.
going backwards. It just doesn't. It's not good Rush. I'm surprised it. opened
Jonathan,
the
you
record.
had one. You wanted to nominate.
Yeah, I know it's Roll the Bones, but Heresy on Roll the Bones.
Oh,
Yeah, I like
Mm.
Heresy.
Yeah, I
I do
like
have another Roll the
Heresy.
Bones track though.
Roll the
Is
bones.
that-
So you don't want to be on the round.
I'll
Okay.
agree on that one just because I think it could make the list, but nobody else agrees. So
I
anybody
think
else
that
want to
song
throw
could have
something
been
else out there?
better.
Well, Todd,
I
what was
just-
your other? What was your other one?
I was going to say "You Bet Your Life." I think Ryan mentioned that as a possible. Did you? Was that one of the ones you said?
No, but it's on my. It wasn't one that I said of I thought obvious ones, but I do have it on my list as potential.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'm hosting 3 out of 4 of the Roll the Bones ones we mentioned.
Oh God.
Does anybody
Well-
agree with You Bet Your Life? Hands up. One.
Okay, so just me and Jonathan.
All
Okay.
right. I'll throw out there Bravest Face from Snakes and Arrows.
Yeah.
Some people have said Snakes and Arrows might be a tad over long. I think that could
That's
be
the one that can go. Yeah.
That's my
I don't
thought. Right.
Freaking love Snakes and Arrows.
Yeah, I love that album.
Freaking love it. I don't know
Not
why
bad.
it gets such a
Just-
bad rap.
Oh,
It's brilliant.
David, you're the deciding factor here. We haven't heard from you. you're the unanimous
Yeah.
decision on Bravest Face here.
Man. No, I'd like that one too much.
Okay. So that no go either. All right. We can stick with 19. Does anybody else have any of the else they want to nominate?
Well, while we're dissing Roll the Bones, where's my
I've got it on my list. Like, I absolutely love everything about it, but people complain.
I can't do
About
Where's
what?
My
Where's my
Thing.
thing?
Yeah.
I can't do.
I
Where's
like
My
it.
Thing.
Oh my gosh, that's near the top of my
Oh,
list
where's
of
my-
instrumentals.
Yeah, it's
I thought you meant
incredible.
Roll the Bones,
No.
Roll the Bones. My bad.
No, you could not have that. I don't know. I had
I'll nominate
Turn the-
High Water.
I agree with that.
I agree with that.
That's on my
Yeah,
list.
that's fine.
Technically, it probably belongs
I don't
on.
have it, but
Alright.
I agree.
I love the tune. I think it's vastly overlooked because of Taishan, but that's where they placed it, and it is what it is, and whatever. So it's the last song on the record, so let's have it be the last song on our not so greatest hits. All right, I'll read it through for the viewers and for you all. You Can't Fight It starts this. Neurotica, Taishan, I Think I'm Going Bald, BU2B2, Hand Over Fist, Superconductor, Dog Years, Limbo, Need Some Love, Rivendell, Freeze, Double Agent. That one pains me. Best I Can, Nocturne, Face Up, The Speed of Love, Lessons, Virtuality, and High Water. So I think I don't know about you guys, but I think overall,
I think we
I
all
think
took
there's-
some
I
hits.
think-
It's probably pretty accurate.
yeah, I think we did a pretty decent job. I think there's arguing points for all of them.
Sure.
Even Double Agent. I get it. Yeah, and even songs like the two Presto songs. Some people love Hand Over Fist, Superconductor, but I can see it. I think we did a bang up job on this one, boys. So if you're viewing this and you want to leave a comment, let us know perhaps what we missed. let us know that you think we're absolute jerks for doing this topic because
I'll comment that. Yeah.
yeah.
Controversial, I'll give you that.
I have a self-loathing level going on right now.
Yeah. Yes, but keep in mind this was strictly for fun. It was one that I've wanted to do for a while. I've just been putting it off because of the potential backlash. So yeah, let us know what you think, and I do believe the next episode of Rush Roundtable will be starting back up with Roll the Bones song discussions, which would be Paul. Help me here. Big Wheel.
Big Wheel and
Big
Heresy
Wheel.
double episode. You know, one of the songs that from the list.
Yeah. No, it didn't make
way
it.
to start.
Almost
No,
made
it
it.
didn't make it.
Almost
Yeah.
made it.
Yep.
That's why I shot no.
Yeah.
Big Wheel.
Yeah.
See what's
Yeah,
next.
that's fair. All right.
Tune in.
Cool. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Cool. Thanks.
Thanks.